So I have a really awesome guest that's joining us right now. A very modest guest, too. He's an executive with American Dream, one of the major partners here with the Transplant Games. Paul Ghermazian. How are you, Paul?
I'm great. Good to see you.
So good to have you on the program. So good to chat with you about all your involvement with the Transplant Games and the New Jersey Sharing Network and all that you've done with the Chamber here in New Jersey. So how about we kick it off with, tell us a little bit about your involvement with American Dream and what people can expect when they walk into this incredible edifice that you've created here in New Jersey.
Oh, well, I think what they can expect is to walk in and say, wow.
Yeah.
And that this is not what they expected. We've created something that, selfishly, I think is just something that's extraordinary and never been in the market here. And honestly, even everything that's in there, just you've never had this array and this breadth of experiences in one place, under one roof.
So for those who don't know, Paul and his family, the Ghermazian family, are famous for these incredible creations that they have. There's the West Edmonton Mall. There's the Mall of America as well, which everybody knows. And I feel like this is the one, though. This is American Dream, and it has the appropriate title. Is it over 3 million square feet?
Yeah, 3 million square feet. A little smaller than the other two centers, but it packs a punch. All of our centers are unique, but when we opened this one, we really realized, like, you know what, this is the financial and commercial capital of the world, right? And so you can't go half-assed. You can't hold anything back. You got to go all in. And we did in more ways than one.
And yes, more ways than one, absolutely. And so your family is known for getting not only involved in commercial real estate, but in the community, working with the people. And in this case, we have the New Jersey Sharing Network that you've
wonderful
joined with, and the Chamber of Commerce, of course. But tell us about that relationship and how things have developed to assist the community.
Yeah, you know what? Whenever we enter a community, whether we're just living there or we're creating jobs and businesses, it's really important to us to be great corporate citizens and a member of the community, and on a local basis. So when this event we heard about it, and our team heard about it, they're like, you know what? We've got to be a part of this. We've got to jump on board, and the Sharing Network was amazing. And to have been afforded the opportunity and to help them facilitate this wonderful event. I was there earlier and watching all the participants moving around. I think they were doing a Zumba class in the middle of the center. It was tremendous. It was exciting, and that's what we live for. You're going to do projects like this and create these community spaces and be there. You want to have a positive impact on those around you, and it's not just about the jobs we create and the escapes that they get to have and the joy, but also doing more than that. And this is one of those great examples where we were able to do that.
So the process for the bid started years ago, where different markets would apply to the Transplant Games of America with the opportunity to host the games. And one of the major factors that tipping point that allowed New Jersey to win those games was your involvement and American Dream. So that must feel quite good that you really had a heavy hand in making this happen.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. But look, we were glad we were able to help. And anytime, we're able to help our team win, we're here, part of New Jersey. And when you're winning, everyone wins here. So we were just happy to be a part of it and happy to be able to contribute.
Have you ever experienced the Transplant Games before?
I have not, and unfortunately, I'm not proud of the fact to say that I haven't. But through the process, I was able to really learn a lot about it and see some events, and it's a tremendous thing. You hear about it, but to literally again see these people who have received, but then on the other side, those that literally gave of themselves, right? They sacrificed a piece of themselves to give someone else life, and it's something I can't personally comprehend. I can only imagine what that's like, and then to see them come together and celebrate that, it's really special. It's really, really special.
to your point where these games are your first encounter with the transplant games. Myself was in 2016, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was walking into. I knew I would go, get in front of a camera, and talk about something that's really important to people. But the moment it started, there was something different. The community that exists, thousands of people come together, and they're a family. They have an energy about them. It's like this living organism that just kind of it empowers itself. People understand each other. They understand the sacrifices that families go through. And, from living donors to recipients to donor families who have lost somebody but have given life to others through their loved ones. So transplant is a really, really incredible advancement in medical in medicine. So
the only thing I would add is, one of the things that as we were going through this process, I was fortunate enough that, I don't know if fortunate is the right word, but a member of the community that I live in, is on the list, and watching him and his family go through these experiences also brought forward another light to see that. And I think that anybody who's been able to interact with somebody who's either waiting or gone through it or donated, it's really, really, really touching and special. And you have to ask yourself the question, wow, what would I do? And how would I react? And could I do that too? And I think the more people who can, obviously the greater, but, serves a real purpose. And then, it's something to be celebrated, and to bring these people together and celebrate life and what it really means to come together. I don't know, there's not enough we could say about it.
I would agree. And, hats off again to you and to your family for all that you guys have done. And I know you're modest and you don't take the credit, but having been part of this family for over 5 years, you're the type of people that keep the mission moving forward. Bill Ryan, he's the CEO of the games, and he has such a passion for this, and it transcends. It goes through me, it goes through all of us that work in these projects, but it takes people like you and families and to push the mission, to expand the footprint, to let people realize and bring awareness. I think awareness is the biggest thing about these games. And to say that, living donors that are out there, like you said, to give a piece of themselves to somebody else, it's hard to fathom that. And I haven't had anybody in my family ever needing an organ, but just recently we had somebody in my family who passed. And she was young, 25. Tammy is her name. And she's an organ donor. There were 4 people that will gain the gift of life through her. So it's little things like that. Like, I can appreciate it so much more now, being part of this community, meeting people like you who keep this mission going. I think it's special that you're here and that you're actually taking the time to speak with us and have a conversation with us.
My pleasure. Sorry for your loss, by the way.
That's great. Thank you. Do you have any type of connection with transplantation or organ donation?
So I hadn't had that much. I mean, there are a few great organizations I've interacted with. Obviously, it's something that's really important. And the latest has just been, like I mentioned before, this member of our community who's, there. He's someone a little older gentleman. And he comes to our home every weekend, to my mother's house. Him and his wife, they're retired, and they would come every weekend, then they just stopped showing up. And, watching him kind of struggle and go through that and being on the lists. And thankfully he's in line and he's just waiting for procedure, and COVID kind of got in the way of that, which is why, we have the 2020 games now, even though we're 2021, because we had to postpone this wonderful event, just like many others. But yeah, it really, as much as I thought I knew, watching him, and I try to speak to him weekly. It's hard to fathom and hard to really truly appreciate what it's like and the weight that he's endured, and his family. I mean, this is a family of children, the unexpected, not knowing what the future is. And I think it's through those donors and the people that we see at American Dream today that, get to have a celebratory day and get to enjoy these activities and do wonderful things and interact and be happy. And you also see the continuation of life that you can start to appreciate what this all means.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Ghermazian sitting with us, having a conversation, executive with American Dream, a major partner on the 2020 Transplant Games of America. People are going to be joining us at American Dream, coming in, dancing, hanging out with mascots. There'll be concerts. But at the same time, American Dream is... it's an eye-opener. It's something very, very different for people to experience. It's one of those destinations where families can come to town and spend days on end at American Dream. You can ski and snowboard there. Yeah. There's crazy activities in a mall. If you think about it, some things don't make sense until you see them. And I think this is one of those things. You just have to see it. Can you give us like a little inside scoop of what people can experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is just that you got to take off whatever you're imagining when you hear this name or whatever you're thinking about. And particularly, we actually specifically didn't put mall in the name. And people were like, wow, we built these other projects that are the epitomes of malls.
Good point.
And we kind of took that out because we're like, you know what? That's really not what this is. We're just so much more. And I mean, there's really nowhere else in the world where you can literally ski down a slope, then surf, and go from 0 to 60 on a coaster, within a matter of 2 seconds, all in one day. And that's just 3 of the exciting things that you can do in the building. There's the ice skating, and you could tickle a shark. You can build your next masterpiece at Lego.
Candy stores that are 2 stories tall.
That's right, yeah.
It's insane. 3 stories.
You can also ride on those animal fluffy fuzzies. we have electronic animal fuzzies you can run around with and enjoy that too. So really something for everybody, but again, never seen in one place. And, kind of back to the whole, idea of what, American Dream in here, we said we can't just do a regular amusement park and a regular dream, a regular water park or any of our attractions. So we really went pretty nuts, pretty crazy on how we put these together.
So you're famous for making these things happen. Is there anything in the future that you could share with us that you guys are planning?
Well, we've always got some exciting things coming down the pipe. The attractions themselves are pretty cool, so I don't want to take away from what's already open.
Understood.
Like I said, the skiing, the water park is, the wave pool is the largest indoor wave pool in the world. But just as one teaser of a thing. But we have a few more attractions. One of them that we announced recently is the observation wheel. It's going to be incredible. These unobstructed views of the entire New Jersey area and the Manhattan skyline. That's coming up towards the end of the summer.
That must be huge.
Oh, it's incredible. It's about, I think it's higher than the Statue of Liberty, actually, when you place it out. If you go by today, you can actually see the cranes out there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's beautiful, and the sights from up there are really, really wonderful. It's a great attraction. And we have just really, every week we have new things that are opening, whether it's a new world-class retailer, food, entertainment. There's always something happening. And then we've actually announced as well the luxury experience that's opening up, which is kind of the next phase of the development, which I'm really excited about as well.
It's never ending. It's with the appropriate title, American Dream. Bring your family, check it out. You won't regret it. Trust me, I've been there, and I'm going to be there for the next 4 days. Come and visit us, experience it, and create memories. Paul Ghermazian, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Us, and for all your support for the Transplant Games here in New Jersey, and like you said, making yourself part of the community. It's made a huge difference. And we look forward to seeing more and more amazing things. American Dream. Don't miss your chance to enjoy it. Appreciate you.